This time, let's get a story with a ghost in it. Yes, we now go to Japan. Why Okinawa is the most haunted place in the military is the story by Blake Stillwell at wearethemighty.com. And Blake begins. The profession of arms deals in death, no matter how we like to think of our daily military lives. No matter what your military specialty is, you're helping that end. If you're a cook, you feed war fighters who are out there dealing death. If you work in finance, you're reimbursing travel vouchers for troops. Combat cameraman, you're documenting the history and inspiring others to join in. I'm not passing moral judgment. I was in the military too. That's just its reality. In that respect, not only does it make sense that some military installations, vehicles, and battlefields would be haunted, it should actually make us wonder how military installations, vehicles, and battlefields are not more haunted. Nowhere else is that more apparent than Kadena Air Base, Japan. Rumor has it the house was demolished in 2009, but Building 2283 on Kadena's base housing was notorious for being the single most haunted house in the entire U.S. military. No one lived there for a long time, and the building was reportedly used for storage because no one would want to stay there. It was said that an Air Force officer, the next military family to move into the house, experienced feelings of unrest and paranoia until the father of the family stabbed everyone, so it became a storage shed. But that didn't stop the house from haunting people. Passers-by reported hearing the sounds of children crying, strange laughter, and in one instance, a report of a woman washing her hair in the abandoned house's sink. You might ask what took the Air Force so long to tear the house down, which is a valid question. Kadena reportedly attempted to tear it down, but workers attempting to destroy the building reported headaches, hallucinations, and suffered from a high rate of on-the-job injuries. Teachers at the daycare center next door, yes, there was a daycare center next door the whole time, complained of children on the playground throwing toys over the fence because little kids on the other side asked them to. Other reporters have cited ghostly phone rings, despite there being no phone line attached to the house, faucets turning on by themselves, curtains opening themselves, and even a sighting of the house glowing. If the hallucinations and urges to kill your family weren't enough to dissuade anyone from living in the house, the worst selling point for moving in might have been the samurai warrior that rides his horse to the living room every once in a while, for reasons unknown. That's not the only sighting of a samurai warrior. A similar samurai is said to ride the road to Camp Foster up Stillwell Drive, reportedly headed to base housing. There's nothing creepy about security forces. Not inherently anyway. These guys look sharp. But when you're pulling up to a gate at 3 a.m. and encounter a World War II-era Marine covered in blood and asking for a match, things take a turn for the creepy. That's what happened at Camp Hanson's old Gate 3, more than once. In a weird way, it's a good thing the ghostly Marine was hanging out at the gate, defending living American troops, because ghosts of World War II Japanese soldiers were reportedly at the same gate all the time. The haunting happened so often, some say every weekend, that Marine guards began to refuse to stand guard at Gate 3. Wonder how the chain of command reacted to that. And the entry control point was eventually closed. Closing the gate seemed a little unnecessary, since the soldier would disappear once his cigarette was lit. So you could actually give him a light? Kadena's Banyan Tree Golf Course Cave. During World War II, the Japanese maintained a field hospital on the site where Kadena's golf course was built. Of course. After U.S. troops took the airfields on Okinawa in '45, Japanese nurses, terrified of Americans due to Japanese propaganda, committed suicide in a nearby cave. These days, Okinawans won't go near the cave because the women are said still to haunt it, and also to haunt the nearby land. But it's part of Kadena's annual Halloween ghost tour. If you're around Maida Point on Okinawa, and you see an elderly man walking around a tomb near the water, just go ahead and row to shore. Go right to personnel, retire, and fly home. It's not worth sticking around, because rumor has it, that old man is a ghost, and every time someone sees him, there's a body washing ashore on a beach nearby in just a few days. The implication being your body, I guess. The point is apparently the site of many throwing themselves off the cliff. Not only that, this was also the site of another field hospital used by the Imperial Japanese Army in World War II. If an old man foretelling doom is not enough, scuba divers even report seeing ghosts underwater. Some of these end up jumping off the haunted cliff for the rest of eternity, as ghost jumper reports are as ubiquitous as taco rice.